The gridiron, the place where hard work, dedication, and sacrifice takes place.
Get it, D! Come on, Malik. Yeah.
Let's go, boy.
Hold to the ball, Amir. Good job.
The gridiron, where players have choices. The gridiron, where attitude means everything.
Jack, how you doing today, man?
To be honest, not really too good.
Gridiron, where challenges are faced.
Hit it, dog.
The gridiron, where you choose to face the challenges. On Friday nights, the community comes here to watch their Woodford County Yellow Jackets. On Friday nights, this is where the student section goes wild. And if we're playing here on the road, this is what it sounds like.
Every yellow jacket star will shine. We'll fight, fight, fight. Hold up, hold the white. As we go to the goal varsity. We will kick, pass, and run till the battle is won. We'll bring home the victory. Jackets, Jackets, Jackets.
On Saturdays, we like to come in after a game. We like to, first of all, get the guys treatment who are hurt from the night before. I think it's very important for them to take care of their bodies. And then one group will live.
I can't, not spoken here. Sacrifice. I'm definitely going to remember both the coach and the motto you choose for the rest of my life. So the motto you choose, it means a lot to me since the first day that I heard what it actually stands for. I was doing a podcast with Coach Dennis Johnson, and I happened to ask him, what does you choose mean? And he just instantly started talking about, it's not just a football thing, it's more like a lifestyle. And every day you have choices, and I've really just, every morning I wake up, I tell myself, you choose, and that basically just means, you know, I choose to have a good day at school, or if I'm going to pay attention, or if I'm going to respect people around me, and everything like that. I think that it's just a great thing, not just for the players to go by, but more like the student body itself and people around the community. They're all buying it, and the more buying Coach gets, the more people are going to not only want to join the football team, but come out and support the team as well.
You choose what kind of person you're going to be. We want all these young men to grow up to be men, and in doing that process, you got to make a lot of choices. You know, not only on the football field, but in the classroom, at home, how you treat your mother and father, the respect you have, your role as a young man in the community. So every day you have to make a choice, and you choose. You know, we can blame it on society or a lot of different factors, but ultimately it comes up to the decisions each and every person makes. So we talk a lot about you choose, because we want these guys to make the right decisions, and we hope that phrase and saying will resonate with them to the rest of their lives.
Making decisions is facing the consequences, both positive and negative.
PTA stands for, it's not a very nice name, it stands for pain, torture, and agony. And my father started that back in Harrisburg 25 years ago. And that is just for the guys who have a D or F. And I know we want these guys to be the best they can be, but every guy who has a D or F, I make them get on the line, and they do a PTA, which is your jogging plays, hit your stomach, and your bear crawl, 5 or 10 yards. And we usually do it 100 to 200 yards. Every Wednesday we get a grade check, and I want the guys to know that academics are very, very important. Way more important than football. Long after football's over, academics will take care of these young men and their families for the rest of their lives.
PTAs challenge the players both physically and mentally. I think the Woodford County football team has a huge impact on the community because our fan support shows that. Every single game that we play at home, the stands are packed, they're ready to go, they're loud throughout the game. The student section is what really gets the team going, and even if we're playing on the road or home, the fans are always there. They're traveling. They're really supportive of what we're doing.
As coming as a coach, I think it's more important than just being a football coach. I think it's having a positive impact on young men's lives. So I think football is a big part of their life, but I think you can impact them in so many more ways. So I've hired coaches who have a positive impact, and we're hard on the guys. You know, we want them from be young men to men. So we push them hard. We have a high expectation level, but those guys are seeming to respond. I think the light for a lot of the guys is coming on academically, athletically, the way they carry themselves in the community. So it's very important. How the opportunity came for Daniel to be a manager, I was just sitting in here and he was in my room a few days, and just starting to get to talk to him about a few things, and I didn't say anything for a day or two, but that following Monday I came in and said, have you ever thought about being a manager? And his exact words were, I was sitting there talking to my mom, thinking about doing the same thing, but he had a little issue of a job, so he got that taken care of, and he's been a manager ever since, so he's kind of really my right-hand man on Friday nights, make sure everything's taken care of, keeps on my paperwork, and make sure the guys are in and out of the locker room, keeps us on schedule, helps out Coach Krause with making sure everything's set up on the sideline. So it's a lot that goes into it. You know, people just see, I think it's kind of easy, but Daniel and Coach Krause probably have the hardest job on the team because they have to do a lot of stuff, and I'm a pretty demanding person. And he's always right there by my side, so he makes sure a lot of the stuff that you don't see that goes on behind the scenes runs smoothly. So that's how the job came about. I think he's doing a great job, and I'm glad as a senior he gets the opportunity to help us out. Even though I'm not a football player on the team, I feel like I'm just as important on the team just because of the relationship I have with both the coaches and the players. Like every week they come up to me and they thank me for all the hard work and everything I'm doing for the team. So on Saturday, it was after we played Nelson County on Friday night. That Saturday morning, I got to go with the team and work out and do other activities and just participate in any way I can. And after watching some film with Coach and everything, he got up to leave, and I followed him, and because I was needing to talk to him about something. I said, "Hey, Coach, before you leave, I was wanting to share something with you," and he allowed me to share it, and I said it was a story, and he thought I was going to share something with the team, but I told him it was more personal than that, and it was for me to share to him, and he told me to go on. I told him it was about why I decided to quit football a few years back. My last year playing football was in 8th grade and was diagnosed with asthma, and it was a really big contribute to why I stopped playing football, because it was just a rough patch in my life, and I didn't know if I could go on to play any more sports. And I was just dealing with like a lot of harassment from different players. So I went on to tell him about that, and then I told him about some other personal stuff about my life, and I told him that about this one incident that basically changed my life forever. I was visiting my dad in West Virginia, and we were sitting there watching the Kentucky and Louisville basketball game, and my dad sent my mom out to get some pizza, and he had been drinking a lot that night, and I already knew that this was going to be bad. So what happened was my dad had been drinking. He asked my mom to go get some pizza, and my mom went and got the food, and my dad just starts yelling at me and my little brother and
just telling us that they're basically worthless and we're liars and all kinds of stuff. I can't really recall everything he said, but at first he told my little brother, he said, "Come here." He grabs him and he just starts, going crazy on him, like abusing him and hitting him in his neck. And I was just watching, just thinking to myself, what can I do to stop this? And at the time, I just thought there was nothing I could do. And after he was done, he looked at me and he says, "You're next." And I was just like, instant reaction. I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." And he just kept telling me, "Come here, Daniel, come here, Daniel." And finally, I got up and just did it. And it was a big contributor to why I quit football, because my neck and the struggles I went through. In a way, I feel like finally I could relate to somebody, and somebody was open to get to know me and to talk to me about some of the things that happened in my life. And he told me that instead of looking back at it as if, like, God, those were some horrible times, I should look back and say, God put me through some of that stuff for some reasons, and he knew I could get through it.
What I really told him was that, nothing happens just out of spite. I think everything happens for a reason. And some of the stuff he experienced in his life, as he gets older and has children, I think he'll be able to remember those times and make sure his household is put in a better situation. But I told him, everything should make you, it either draws you or drives you, makes you stronger. And I think, I believe, my personal beliefs are God doesn't put you in any situation that you can't handle. And so I think some of the situations he's been through, some of the situations I've been through, situations everybody's been through, it's not by chance. It's to make you a stronger person. And if you're able to look at it like that, I think you have a stronger and better outlook on life, which will in turn make you a stronger young man. And when you get into manhood, you'll be able to reflect on those things when you have kids yourself and make your kids better people. So nothing happens by chance, and I was going to have a conversation, and we're able to build a relationship where we can talk about things other than just football or the day-to-day happenings in Woodford County. We can kind of get to a more intimate level, because I want to be able to build a relationship with everybody who I come in contact with. I always use the phrase, I don't live in a glass house, so I'm not scared to tell my story, and I'm glad we were able to have a conversation about his story, and I think, iron sharpens iron, and we were able to do that last Saturday.
Running through the tunnel, it's an experience like no other. I feel like I'm part of the team. I feel like I'm wearing the jersey, the pads, and the helmet. I feel like I'm ready to go play for them on Friday nights. How I think my story relates to the motto "You Choose" is because even though I've been through some hard times, I've chosen to move on and keep going. If you're strong-minded and if you believe in yourself, you can overcome just about anything.